Hey, what's cracking internet? It's your favorite gamer, Brent Bro from MomTalkingGames.com, and I'm going to show you the final battle in Dragon Age Origins. So turn away now if you don't want spoilers, because you are seeing the Archdemon, who is the big baddie you have to fight at the end of the game here when you climb to the top of the tower with your party. So you can see a cool little cinematic of people getting splatted by this nasty dragon. That was starring my rogue, Bushwick, a dwarf rogue. He's the guy in the front. So I have auto pause on, so the game auto pauses as soon as I get into combat. And now it's time to figure out what the hell we're going to do here. This was my first time ever in here. I had not seen anything about this fight. I had not read about it. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I spent a lot of time paused just trying to figure out how I was going to calculate every move. I mean, from the beginning it threw me off. I run at the dragon, he flies over me, and then lands behind me. You can see on the right there under the mini map, you get to call reinforcements as well, which I'll show you later. Be very mindful of what you call here, because as far as I understand, unless I could be wrong, someone could correct me, you get one shot at that. You get to call one of those groups, and that's really all you're going to get for the whole fight. And you'll see who I called later. But now you get to see the pain in the ass that is playing melee against the dragon, because they continually knock you down and knock you away from them. So melee classes are usually at a big disadvantage on these dragon fights. I'm running two mages. I have Wynn and Morrigan, and I use the respec mod, and they're both spirit healers. So I have two in combat reses and two group heals, and that really helps a lot. I have my rogue, and Alistair is my tank. So rather than going through an hour long, this was a very long fight. I was probably 20 to 30 minutes close to it just in this fight alone. So you saw just a minute ago, I just kind of sped us right past a lot of the clicking around that I did. But the dragon flies off and waves of mobs fly at you, and you kind of just have to stay alive. And this was a pretty epic battle, if I have to say. I mean, there were times where I snatched victory from the jaws of defeat a couple times in this one. It was a pretty cool thing. Apparently what I'm doing here is pausing for very long amounts of time to try to calculate, okay, oh crap, what do I do now? I can see my tank's almost dead. I'm trying to get him with a heal. And what I noticed was that right when I started this fight, I was completely out of mana potions. So you can see down on the bar on the bottom right, my healers are pretty much screwed. There goes my tank. Alistair's dead already. Not a good sign, not starting off well. So now I'm trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to get through this, because there are several mobs, a yellow con, that are beating on my guys. And you see, what I did there was pretty clutch. I used the force field that the mages have, and I put the force field on my character, and they're all beating on her, and she's not taking any damage. So I basically saved her life by putting that force field on her. You can see all the no effect messages popping up over her head. And now, yeah. My other mage was stunned, and my rogue died. That happened probably a couple times in this fight, if I remember. And so this is a bad situation. This is not. I've got multiple elite mobs beating on my group. I did see Earl Eamon run in there. He was the NPC that you save earlier in the game. But now he's fighting, and the dragon is just at a place where we can't get to him and just pummeling our group. So luckily, he comes in with a clutch knockback, knocks some of the mobs away. And I'm trying to figure out if this is going to be a quick restart or not. But I just plink away with my mage's staff, which actually wasn't the best staff in the world, but it was doing something. And now Morrigan's force field has dropped, and she's about to be in a world of hurt. So I think I pulled off the AoE stun. because they appear to be all stunned now, and calculating what the next move here for Morrigan is. But you can see the battles. This is why the battles take so long. I mean, they're really tactical. You've got to pause for a split second when you've got a bad guy with his axe cranked back like that, about to mash your mage's face in, and you've got to think, how do I live through this? Well, Force Field was back up. She put Force Field on herself, on Morrigan that time. So now Morrigan still has aggro. Wynn is back here safely, just plinking away, and staying alive through this whole thing. Force Field's amazing. If you have a mage that doesn't have Force Field, get it immediately. Especially when you have two mages, because you can run with two mages and Force Field each other and keep them alive. And look, there's Earl Lehman. He's just mowing them down. Right? He's eating a lot of damage. So I'm trying to toss a few heals on him to keep him alive, so I don't lose him. And then there we go. We lived through that little barrage. Maybe Wynn can get enough mana back and toss out a resurrection and get somebody back to life. So I'm basically just looking around to make sure there's nothing else coming. There goes the dragon again. So yeah, not good. Not good. I got two people down. One of my mages is out of mana. Both of them are, in fact. And Morrigan's Force Field is up. And by the way, with Force Field, you also want Dispel Magic, so you can dispel the Force Field off of whatever you put it on whenever you do that. So I think Earl Lehman's going to buy the farm if he hasn't already. And I don't know. Right here, I'm just praying for a miracle because it just doesn't look good. It's two mages with no mana throwing their staff damage at the dragon, and I'm just kind of pausing, trying to plot out what in God's name can I possibly do here. I think I'm just trying to see, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to see who is actually, who the dragon is actually about to come after. Because Morrigan's Force Field is back up. And there it is, drop it on Wynn. Or I'm about to. Yeah, see, now the dragon focuses on Wynn, and I figure, well, she's about to buy the farm. So at least maybe I can try to run around and pray for a miracle. Just keep plinking away. Yeah, here it is. Now the dragon comes. Now Wynn is just absolutely toast. So I'm gonna, if I remember correctly, I'm gonna pop back to Morrigan and Force Field Wynn from Morrigan, or I Force Field myself, one of the two. Oh, this is okay. Now I remember. Yeah, I've got two dead guys over here. So Wynn is going to try with her dying breath to throw out the rest. See the white spell? That's the resurrection, and it's kind of a small area of effect right at the two dead guys, Alistair and my rogue. Then Morrigan Force Fields her. Now the dragon's trying to kill her, but it can't because she's Force Fielded, and up comes Alistair. And the AoE was so small it couldn't get my rogue, but at least now I've got a tank up. So this is like miracle comeback, if you can imagine it. Now, I went from dead with two mages against the dragon. Now I've got a tank up. It's still looking pretty bleak, but at least there's a small hope. And the thing is, when they're force fielded, however the aggro tables work in Dragon Age Online, they seem to stay that way for a while, unless you do more damage to overcome it. I'm not really sure how it works exactly, but the dragon, once it focused on her, it's staying on her, and we can just plink away at its health. And the dragon cannot do anything against that force field. Whatever's in it is completely invulnerable. So I've switched Alistair to weapons because all he's going to do is get knocked down and probably get killed as close as he gets, so he might as well use his range. And I panicked because I thought that was like an AoE dispel, but it didn't take the force field off. So Morrigan, I'm probably going to have to, I think if I remember correctly, take the dispel magic skill and get that force field off of Wynn, and then see if we can get my rogue resurrected as well. Because I don't know where the dragon just went. All I know is he's not here right now. And I remember I ran up here and realized, hey, there's some sort of object I could have been interacting with. What the hell does this do? Well, in part 2 of the video, you'll see where I got through this whole part and made it a lot harder than it should have been.